Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina here in Bogotá, Colombia, way up in the Andes Mountains. And Karina had a great day today, and we're still waiting for the Interpol letter to get approved. We won't be long, probably this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere in there, we'll get her Interpol letter, and I'll go ahead and upload it to the SEAC, and then I will email it to the embassy, and I will also FedEx it to the embassy. So we'll have free copies. There will be no excuse from the embassy saying they didn't get the letter. So that's what we're going to do. And today is Saturday, December 9th, 2023, and it's almost Christmas. And we hope that you guys are getting your K1 visas figured out, organized, processed, and approved. If you are having a hard time getting your K1 visa approved, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know how to process a K1 visa, I will help you for free. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I give you zero legal advice, none, zero, nada. But I've been through two K1 visas, a spousal visa, K2, successfully. Karina had her K1 visa interview on November 16th, 2023, which she was interrogated for about 10 minutes, got about 11 questions, and she passed them all with flying colors. And then the immigration officer asked her at the end of basically the end of her interrogation, how did our relationship develop? And she went to explain, this is how we met, this is how we got to know each other, this is all the trips we went on. We went to Cucuta, we went to Cartagena, we went to Chauchi, we went to Bucaramanga. We went all over Colombia, and the immigration officer kept interrupting her and interrupting. And she said, do you want me to answer these questions or what? And he said, no, you're good. Your visa's approved. So her K1 visa, Karina's K1 visa was approved. We just got to get this Interpol certificate. We applied for it that day, November 16th. We applied for it. Well, Karina did. She knows how to do it. And today is December 9th, and we should get it next week, probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Amy is on the channel. Amy, hello, good to see you both. Karina's not working this weekend. Now, the lady that's trying to set up this business in northern Bogota said, Karina, can you work Saturday and Sunday? Can you help me Saturday and Sunday? And I'm like, you are probably 3 weeks away from leaving Colombia. Now, if you want to work, go ahead. But Karina said, no, I'm going to hang out with my prometito. And we got to hang out today. Jody Fairfield. Hi, Diego and Karina. How are you? We're good. We are doing great, Jody. We got this 221G administrative wait on this Interpol police certificate. It's no big deal. We're just waiting on it. Probably Monday, Tuesday, we'll get it. And if you guys have any questions, if you are new to the channel, if you're brand new to the channel, we welcome you. And if you're old school, if you've been hanging out with us for the past year, 2023, we're glad you're with us. We're here to help you, and we're going to answer your questions. Now, I need some ideas for videos. Somebody asked me to make a video on the new I-134. Well, I made a video on the I-134, and it's very informative and very educational. And the only thing that changed was the date, the effective date. So I made a video on the I-134 already. So you just got to find it, watch it, and learn. But the date changed, that's all. But the information on the I-134 is the same. Nothing's changed. And Jody Fairfield, great news. Did you get your dental work finished up? The dentist emailed Karina today and said on Monday he wants me to go get a panoramic x-ray of my mouth. And I got to take this bridge out. So that's going to make it hard to do, but I'll figure it out. I'll get the photo on Monday, the panoramic x-ray Monday, and then go see the dentist on Monday afternoon. And he's going to put me down. He's going to put me in his veterinarian chair. I'm just kidding. It's not a veterinarian chair. And he's going to look and see if he can send me to the what is it? What's the name of the person that does the dental replacements? The oncologist. I don't know what he is, but he's going to go ahead and, if I'm good, if all the infection's gone, he's going to go ahead and give me 2 brand new teeth. After he ripped out the 2 bad ones. I didn't know they were bad. Who knows, man? I'm in Colombia. He looked at my teeth and said, they're going to come out. I said, whoa, wait a second. How am I going to eat? How am I going to talk? He said, well, I'll give you a bridge. And I said, okay, you made a bridge right here. And so the dental work should be completed Monday. And then hopefully Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll get the Interpol certificate letter. And then we can get this visa finished up. Then we can go to Florida. Karina's done a great job. She's packed the bags pretty much. She knows what's going in what bag. And, I just got money. I got to pay the internet bill again. I got to pay the rent again and the water and the gas. But it is what it is. And Amy has a question. Okay, Amy, do you know how long does it take after a 221G is sent? Okay, Amy, it all depends on what was the 221G. The 221G could be anything. It could be you didn't bring a finalized copy of the divorce decree to the visa interview. And let me see here. Bill Smith, thank you, super chat, Bill. Bill Smith, Diego, my Filipina fiance is in K1 process as a 16-year-old daughter that doesn't want to leave her family to come to the U.S. with mom. Is that going to be an issue? Not at all. Here's what you do, Bill. You fit when your beneficiary fills out the DS-160. There's a question on there that says, will you be traveling alone, or will anybody be accompanying you? You put traveling alone. And then there's a question that says, is any children going to accompany you? They say, or follow along. And you just put follow along in the future. Okay. And then if the child decides to follow along in the future, it's good. But if not, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. But here's the thing, Bill. You got to pay a support to this child until she's at least 21. I would reckon 18 is an adult age, but immigration recognizes 21 as the cutoff for adult becoming an adult. So send money every month to the child in the Philippines, once a month through Western Union. Keep the receipts and make sure that the child's name is on the Western Union receipts, because when your future wife from the beautiful Philippines, you guys get married, when she applies to become a U.S. citizen in 3 years from the issue date of her green card, if you have a child in the Philippines, the immigration officer is going to want to see proof of child support. If you can't prove support for the child, you won't get U.S. citizenship. So make sure, Bill, this is very important. I think I've earned my super chat today. Make sure you send money once a month to the child in the Philippines. Keep the receipts, put them in a file somewhere, because you're going to need them for U.S. citizenship processing in about 3 years after you get married. Now let's talk about the 221G. A 221G could be a security problem. It could be you missing a document, like we're missing a document. It could be the divorce decree was a copy or a PDF copy and it's not sufficient and they won't accept it. It could be that you forgot to include the I-134 with the K1 visa for the embassy interview. You could be missing a document. So the process takes either a short time or a long time. If let's suppose you're in a country like in the Middle East, I don't know where it could be. It could be any country in the Middle East, and you get a 221G security information request form. You got to fill out for further security checks. That could take anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months. Okay, 221G. The process depends on what's the problem. What did you forget? What form did you forget? How quickly can you get immigration, the embassy, the form? Like Karina was told she needs an Interpol police certificate November 16th. November 16th, she already processed it. And she phoned up the Interpol and said, hey, I need this form. And they said, right, patient, espera, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. The Interpol police officer said, get in line with everybody else and you'll get your form by the 18th of December. Well, that's a week from now. So we'll see, not much longer. Bill Smith, it's no problem if your fiance, 16-year-old, doesn't want to come to America. It's no big deal. But you just got to maintain financial support every month until she turns 21. Okay? And then when you go to the visa interview, when you go to the interview for U.S. citizenship, your new Filipino wife will have all these Western Union receipts showing that you supported the child. and immigration, and then the embassy and the person processing your U.S. citizenship paperwork will approve your U.S. citizenship. But if you don't have any proof that you supported that kid in the Philippines because she's a minor, U.S. citizenship will be denied to your Filipino wife. So I just saved you a big headache, right? GS from England, the United Kingdom. Hello, Diego and Karina. Hope you are happy with your teeth. I'm happy with the bridge, but Monday I'm getting my new teeth. Hopefully Monday, the doctor, whatever the name of I got my Cuban doctor took care of all the infection and ripped out my old teeth and gave me the bridge. The other doctor is a female lady. I don't know. She's Colombian, and she's going to give me my 2 front teeth. You know, that's all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth, right? Hey, GS, we went to that restaurant, Danielle, in northern Bogotá. It's about an hour from here. And and Karina had this barbecue like steak thing, and I had fish and chips. And it was great. We're going to go back again to that restaurant, Danielle, which you recommended. And thanks to the super chats you guys keep sending us, I get to feed Karina in these fine restaurants. Jody Fairfield, good to hear. Hope you guys are back in Florida soon. Tana and Isabel. I tell you what, are getting ready to start their I-485. It's expensive, yeah. So Tanner and Isabel are getting ready to start their I-485 to adjust the status to green card. It ain't cheap. It's about $1,200. Okay? But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You're investing in your family. Tana and Isabel are investing in their family. I've invested with Karina for 3 years, and we're going to be together forever. You know, Karina said to me today, this is the first time I've ever been married, and it's going to be the last time. And I said, well, I can't say it's the first time for me, but it's going to be the last time for me. And Karina's so happy. She knows that this is an eternal connection and an eternal reunion, and I'm going to take care of Karina for the rest of her life. Although I don't know, I don't know who's going to check out first. Probably me, but she's good. It's expensive, Jody. It's expensive for a green card. It's expensive. Nick. Okay, Nick. Oh, wait a second. Nick. Hi, Diego. And Karina. Thank you for helping out in the process. No, it's no problem. Now, only pain is getting visa interview date at Mumbai, which is in India. We are running into no slots available. Okay, Nick. You're in the same boat as lots of people before you. And those people before you who couldn't find a slot kept telling me I can't find a slot in Mumbai in the consulate, which is on the coast, right? Isn't Mumbai on the coast of India? And I said, keep looking 2 times a day. Look 2 times a day, you'll find a slot. And they did, and they got their visas, and they're in America. You'll get it. Nick, we are hanging in there, but my fiance is getting worried about not finding slots for the interview. Don't worry about it. Number 1, there's nothing you can do about it. Number 2, worrying is going to make you sick. And number 3, you will get a visa position. You will get a visa interview. You just got to wait for a slot. Will a slot open up? Yes. You got to keep looking. So rule number 1, patience. Rule number 2, don't worry. Do not worry. If you worry, you're going to get sick. Karina went for her visa interview, and they said, oh, your visa's approved, but we need this form. We didn't worry about it. We said, okay, what's the process? Okay, the immigration officer said, go here, email here, do this, do that, and get the form. We said, okay. And Karina said, am I going to get my visa today? No, you got to get me the form. Okay. Number 1 rule, patience. Number 2, do not worry. Ryan 123 exclamation point. Why do you think the interview was interrupting? Well, because Karina was trying to explain to the immigration officer our relationship, and he already said, okay, your visa's approved. So Karina's talking, and he's trying to tell her we've approved your visa, and she's telling him, you're gonna stop interrupting me. I want to tell you about our relationship. She was happy to explain it. She loves how we built up our relationship over the last almost 3 years. And she wanted to tell him. He asked a question. She tried to tell him. He didn't want to hear it because he said, okay, your visa's approved. So Karina said, okay. She shut her mouth. He gave her a white piece of paper, and it said in Spanish, congratulations, your K1 visa's been approved. And here's another process. And on the bottom of the form, it says you got to pay another visa fee for the green card processing. And I'm thinking, that's when you adjust the status. Why do they want another $250 for the visa, for the green card processing? So I got to find out what that's all about. But it's no big deal. If I got to pay it, I got to pay it. So just being rude or some kind of tactic. He asked her the question, and she answered him, and she was going into in-depth detail. And he figured out that this was a real relationship. Everything's good. He said, okay, no more. He didn't have time to keep chatting with Karina. He's got other people to go in line for a visa interview. So he said, stop. You're good. You're good. Your visa's approved. She's okay. But I want to tell you more. And no, you're good. Let me see. Abdullahi Kilta. Hi, Diego. My interview is in 10 days. Okay, tomorrow it's going to be in 9 days. I'm really afraid. I don't know why. Okay, Abdullahi. The only people that should be afraid of a K1 visa interview are people who are not in a real relationship, who is in a fraud, who's trying to. It's a massive fraud. If you're in a bad relationship, a fraud relationship, if it's all bogus, then be afraid, because immigration's going to find out and they're going to deny your visa. But if your relationship is real, you guys love each other, you want to get married and start your life together, there's nothing to be afraid of. You get your visa. Immigration officers are very smart. Okay, they are smart. They know what's going on. Remember, Homeland Security did a background check on your sponsor, and that immigration officer at the embassy, wherever it is, knows everything about your sponsor, from where he was born to when he stole an apple from the apple cart when he was 5, to when he got a speeding ticket when he was 17. He knows everything about you. So relax. You got this. Yes. Francois Livingston. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, buongiorno. No, not buongiorno. That's Italian. It's bonjour. What is it? What's it in French? What is good night in French? Francois. GS, I'm happy you enjoyed Danielle. Yeah, it was a great dinner. We're going back. We don't have much time left in Colombia. We got, maybe 4 weeks max. So we're going to go back. The food was excellent, GS. Diego, let me see. Oh, no, I don't want to miss a question here. Hold on. Marcel MP. Hi, Diego and Karina. My fiance and I are filling the updated I-134. Okay, it's easy. From now, and we are pros filling this up, thanks to you, Diego. So Marcel, you became a pro at filling out the I-134 thanks to this channel. So you got educated. Remember, your beneficiary does not sign the I-134. She doesn't sign it. Only the sponsor fills out and signs the I-134 for a K1 visa. Okay, you got it? Diego, I once tried to help someone with the I-864 affidavit of support. That's for the green card. But his mom told me the application was denied. Do I have to put it in the income item 14 of I-134? So the application was denied. Therefore, you have not brought somebody to the United States. So therefore, they're not your dependent. So therefore, you do not have to include them on the I-864. So no, you don't have to include that person. If they were denied, they didn't come to America, they didn't get the green card, they're not your dependent, do not include them on the I-864. Also, do we need to go by the 100% or 125%? For the I-864, you got to go by 125%. So to bring a family of 3 to the United States of America, at 125% for green card qualification, you got to make $31,075 a year. That's the cutoff. That's the minimum. My recommendation is you make at least $35,000. If you don't make $35,000 a year minimum, and you're bringing a family of 3 to the USA, get a joint sponsor. Just my opinion. Immigration is going to send you an RFE if you're just above the cutoff. So 125% play is what you need to be at. Plus, I would say $3,000 above the minimum at 125% to be safe. So you don't get an RFE for a joint sponsor, which means you're going to have to get a joint sponsor, and it's going to slow down your green card processing by 3 or 4 months. Mr. Rody 14, happy tidings, Diego and Karina. I am still in Malaysia. Well, congratulations. So times are weird. It is 7 a.m. here. 7 a.m. So you got up at 7 o'clock in the morning to join the live stream. Welcome to the channel here. We're glad you got up. We have to adjust status, $1,200. Yeah, it's about $1,200 to get a green card per person. Per person. So if you bring 3 people to the United States, that's going to be $3,600 approximately. Immediately after we marry in order to work without an EAD. Okay, when you file for your green card, Mr. Rody 14, you can also apply for an employment authorization document, which is an EAD. It's no charge, it's free. But you get the EAD in the mail, and then a month later you get the green card. So what's the point? Why didn't you just wait for the green card? Just wait for the green card. When Karina gets to the United States next month, hopefully this month, we're going to put the green card paperwork together. I'm not going to apply for an EAD or an advanced parole. Advanced parole is to travel without a green card. Karina's not leaving the United States. She wants to be with me. She wants to go and explore America. When she gets to the USA, I'm not going to apply advanced parole. We're not going to apply for an EAD work permit. We're going to apply for a green card and wait for it. CCB. Hello, Diego, and the beautiful Karina. Isn't she beautiful? Man, I'm lucky. I'm lucky, guys. Let's see. We're still waiting for the appointment slots to open. So yeah, just wait it out. And we still can't make the payment either. Thank you for your help, CCB. When the appointment gets free, when the embassy has slots open, they will free up the payment so you can pay for the visa interview. Just wait it out, guys. It's not a fast process. Rule number 1. What is rule number 1? Patience. Let me see. Kristen, my brother-in-law hit my sister in 2 occasions while she was visiting him. Your brother-in-law hit your sister twice while she was visiting him? He screams at her and is very abusive towards her. His family superficially accepts her, but they have never what? I'm afraid he has been using her for a visa. Okay, Kristen, here's the answer to that question. If that person hit your sister twice, your sister needs to withdraw that application for a green card and tell that guy to pack sand. Okay? She's going to lose $535. It's better to lose $535 for the K-1 visa processing fee than to lose her house, lose her life, lose her peace of mind. He's got to go. My advice to your sister, Kristen, is for her to write a letter to USCIS Service Center and say, I am withdrawing my petition. I am withdrawing my K-1 visa for this individual, name, full name, passport number, date of birth, and the NOA-1 letter, if she has it, make a copy of that, and say this individual is no longer going to be, I'm no longer going to give this permissive person a green card authorization or a K-1 visa. She needs to do it. He's your brother-in-law, so are they married already? Kristen, are they married? Is this a spousal visa or a K-1 visa? What is it? What is it? What kind of visa is this? If he's your brother-in-law, then that sounds like that they got married already, and this is a spousal visa. If it's a spousal visa, she needs to withdraw the visa application and file for divorce. I don't know what country, I don't know what state you live in, what part of the United States, but you got to get rid of this guy. You got to get rid of this guy. That's no good. Divorce Withdraw the visa, my opinion. You know, when a guy hits a woman, okay, he belongs in jail. Fazak, if you don't mind me asking, what will you do for healthcare for your Karina? She's going on my military healthcare. I'm retired. She goes on my military healthcare. Day after we get married, she's going to be fully covered for anything. No social security number required at that point. We get married. I got my marriage certificate, the I-94, copy of her K-1 visa. We go to the Special Operations Military Command, close to where I live. We go to the healthcare people, the TRICARE folks, and I put her on my health insurance that day, fully covered. And then when she gets her social security number, we'll go back to the military base and I'll make a copy of her social security card, make it big, and say, here you go. And then they put it in their computer. Very easy. It's going to take 24 hours. And then I'm going to include her health care. I'm going to print proof of health insurance, and I'm going to include it in the green card application for the adjustment of status. So it's going to say Karina, TRICARE military health care, full coverage, and it's going to have her name on it. That goes in the green card package. Kristen, he also shames her. Francois Livingston, bonsoir. 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 Francois, comment ça va? And Kristen, let's see what Kristen says. What are your thoughts on this, and how can I prevent my sister from being abused and used by this person? Kristen, are they married to each other? Is he in the United States? Is he in a foreign country waiting for a K-1 visa? What kind of visa is he in? Is he in his home country? Is he in the USA? Is he applying for a K-1 visa? Is it a spousal visa? I need to know that. Kristen, he created an email and phone account solely to talk to her to show USCIS. I told her that's bogus. That's bogus. That is absolutely a red flag, and USCIS will figure it out. Where is this guy? Where is he? Is he in the United States? Is he in a foreign country? Is it a spousal or a K-1 visa? I don't know. You need to tell me. Let me see here. Nick, Diego, question. If they ask my fiance about marriage plan, can my fiance just say we're going to marry at the courthouse? Absolutely. You can say that. Also, will she need to provide proof of this? Sure. Absolutely. Email the courthouse and say, I'd like to know what is the procedure for getting married in the courthouse. The clerk of the court will send an email back to that person with the information. You do this, 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 and this. You print those emails, and then then you send another email and have another question and say, are there any other things that I need to do for a marriage in the courthouse? What else? What documents do I need to bring? The courthouse, the clerk of the court will respond back and say, you need this, this, and this. Basically, the passport. That's all you need. And then you print those emails, you give them to your beneficiary, and have them for the visa interview. So if you get a question at the visa interview that says, do you have any marriage plans? Yeah, we're going to get married at the courthouse. And the immigration officer says, can you prove that? Sure. Here are my emails to the clerk of the court planning the wedding. You don't have a date. You don't know what the date's going to be. You don't have a day. But you got plans. Those emails are very strong. Okay? Let me see here. Dardanian King. Hey, I like that. Dardanian. My case says ready. Should I complete documents and make up the DS-160? No, you email the embassy and ask them for the packet 3, packet 4 email with the instructions to process the visa. Email the embassy and say, hey, I got my ready status. What do I do? This is my case number. This is my invoice number. This is my full name. This is my date of birth. This is my passport number. What do I do? The embassy will email you back and say, this is what you do. And then you follow the directions of the embassy or the consulate. Let me see. I don't want to miss Paya Paya, India. Namaste, Diego. Paya Paya. And Karina. Karina right here. Karina, she's the technical expert. Miguel, should I give the embassy one more day or should I just email the embassy already? Email them. Miguel, email them, print the email. You got to prove the communication. Send an email tonight. Tasha Selena's World. Hi, Diego and Karina. Tasha Selena's World. What's going on? Paya India. How long will it take for the embassy to contact us for a new appointment? The medical exam told me my fiance needed to wait on medical because his appointment automatically canceled. Okay, Paya. You get to get the medical exam done. Okay, and then the embassy will once you email the embassy, the consulate. If it's in India, it's the consulate, not the embassy. You tell them I got the medical documents, and then they will tell you when the next spot is for an interview. But you got to tell the embassy, the U.S. consulate in Mumbai, that you got the medical stuff done. Play. I meant for a K1 visa. Do we need to check the poverty line for 100% or 125? What do you mean check the poverty line? What are you applying for the K1 visa or are you applying for the green card? What are you doing? And there's nowhere you don't check 100%. There's no forms to fill out for the K1 visa. You fill out. You can fill out the I-134 if you want and include it with your K1 visa package. But there's no box to check that says 100%, 125%. Where is that? What form are you talking about? The I-864? The I-864, you got to be at 125% plus. You got it? You got to be at 125% plus to qualify for the green card. For a family of three, it's $31,075. You got to be making at least $34,000 plus to avoid an RFE for a joint sponsor. Kinzazane, what is the difference between marriage license and marriage certificate? The marriage license is when you pay and ask permission to get married. And they give you a license. And they say, okay, here's your license. It's good for 30 days. In Florida, I'll go and get a marriage license with Karina. I'll pay whatever it costs, $80, I can't remember. And then it's good for 30 days. And we can get married anywhere in Florida, any county. There are 67 counties in Florida, and we can get married in any one of them. But the marriage license is good for 30 days. Once we get married, you turn in the marriage license that's signed by the wedding officiant, the church, the courthouse, wherever it is. You turn it in. They process that you are married. They put it in their computer that you guys are now married. It's official. And then you get a marriage certificate to say you guys are married. And Kinzazane in Florida, it's only valid for 30 days. I don't know where you live, what state you live in, I don't know. But in Florida, it's good for 30 days. It's good for 60 days where you live. Mosquito Guy. Hello, Diego. Mr. Mosquito Guy. Make sure you get your beautiful Filipino bride a certified copy of your divorce decree. Not a scanned copy, not a photocopy, not a Xerox copy. Go to the courthouse, pay the $20 and say, I need a certified copy of my divorce decree. The lady will stamp it and sign it, and you get it to your beneficiaries for the visa interview. You got to do that. You got to trust me, man. I'm not going to steer you down the wrong path. I've been through this thing twice. I've been through it twice. 8 years of absolute misery, right? It's not an easy process. But Karina, she's happy as a clam. Her visa is approved. The immigration officer said, did you know that Diego was divorced in the past? Yeah, I know. Sure, I know. I know which country she's from. I know exactly what happened. I know all about it. And he said, okay, do you have the certified copy of the divorce decree? She goes, here it is. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad. And he went, okay. And he looked at it and he said, is this a copy of a copy or is this the certified divorce decree? And Karina said, it's the one he paid for face to face with the clerk of the court in Santa Rosa County. It's an original certified copy. And he said, okay. And then I stapled to the bottom left-hand corner the business card of the clerk of the court in Santa Rosa County. So there was no possible way he could say it wasn't what it's supposed to be. The visa got approved. The documents were everything. All of the documents were perfect, except we're missing an Interpol police certificate, and we're just waiting for it. That's it. Probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably the next live stream will give you good news. On Wednesday, Kinza Zane, we had interview, and they haven't issued a visa for because they need original birth certificate and original police certificate. Kinza Zane, for over a year, I've been telling folks on the live stream, you got to have original police certificate and original birth certificate. If you don't bring those documents to the visa interview, you're going to go into a 221G hold. Bring original birth certificate, original police certificate, original signed I-134, original certified copy of divorce decrees. Those must be original forms, not scanned copies. But Kinza Zane, once you get those documents to the embassy, your visa will be approved. Mr. Rody 14. Oh man, super chats are in a foreign currency. It's not letting me send anything. Mr. Rody 14, don't worry about it. You're good. As long as you learn something from today's live stream, if you learn something that you didn't know last week, then we're good. Don't worry about it, Mr. Rody. But if you want to send me a super chat in Filipino pesos, you knock yourself out. Mr. Rody, you got it? Dardanian King, my case says it's ready. Do I go do the DS-160 right away? No. If you're in the ready status, you email the embassy, the consulate, say, hello, this is me, Mr. Dardanian King. This is my case number. This is my invoice number. This is my full name. This is my passport number. And I would like for you to send me the packet 3, packet 4 email, give me the directions to process my K1 visa. And then you wait for the embassy to send you that email with the links on where to go, and then you knock yourself out. And then you do it. Let me see. Karina, are you to me? Let me see. Karina's my helper. She's the technical expert. I'm just winging it. Let me see. Okay, Karina, where's the next question? Fazak, your pineapples are gone. Yeah, Karina made pineapple juice. She made pineapple juice. And we went to the supermarket today, just probably an hour ago, looking for pina. Is it correct? Pina. There's none left. They wiped out. So tomorrow we'll go back and check again. So there's no more pineapples until tomorrow, probably. No, Monday, lunes. Okay, let me see. Miguel, where can I find Bolivia's embassy email? Google U.S. Embassy Bolivia. U.S. Embassy Bolivia. And, talking about Bolivia, this is interesting. Venezuela is threatening to invade Guyana, the sovereign country of Guyana. The commie dictator Maduro wants to invade Guyana and steal their oil. And the Brazilian government said, you ain't going to do that. So the Brazilian government sent their military right up there on the border with Venezuela and Guyana. And then today, every South American country except Bolivia said they will help defend Guyana. So Peru, Argentina, Colombia, all these South American countries said they will protect Guyana from that commie dictator Maduro. But Bolivia didn't step up to the plate. So what's up with that? You got guys, come on, Bolivia, you got to help Guyana protect itself from that communist dictator Maduro. I'm not sticking my nose into politics, but Karina's family lives in Venezuela. Her mom is there. If Venezuela goes to war with Guyana, that means Colombia goes to war with Guyana, and that means I got to get Karina's mom out of Venezuela, and we'll do it. So Bolivia is not on my happy list, but we love the people. The government, no. Google U.S. Embassy Bolivia, and you should be able to find the email for the embassy. Let me see. Miguel, does your how to fill out the I-134 video? Okay, Okay, I made a video on how to fill out the I-134, and the question is, does it apply to the new form? Absolutely does. It's exactly the same form. Nothing's changed except the date, the addition date changed, and the expiration date changed. So the addition date, I think, is 2026, somewhere, and then the expiration date is like January of the commencement date is January 2024. But the form, my video on the I-134, it still applies to the new form. The only thing that changed was the dates. Let's see. Fazak. Yeah, the pineapples are gone. They're gone, but look right here. Look right here. That is apple juice. Apple juice. So that's going to be for our celebration second letter, Carta di Seconda. It's our second letter from the police. When we get that Interpol police certificate, we're going to have a celebration. Babahan Kurbanov. My status is in transfer to progress. They sent my case from Germany to Kazakhstan. Yeah, we told you to transfer it to Kazakhstan, right? Because you don't, it has been 23 days and the embassy hasn't received it. How long should it take? Well, how far is it from Germany to Kazakhstan? It's a long way. It could take a month. Give it 4 weeks. It's going to go from Frankfurt, Germany, to this country, to this country, to this country, to Kazakhstan. Remember, this is the U.S. government chartered DHL courier service. It's not German airlines. It's not German airlines. It's not a vacation plane. It's a courier service. So they're going to go different countries and pick up different packages from different countries to take to Kazakhstan. Give it a month. Aquarius. Hi, Diego and Karina. What is the family size? If I only live with one son who is 19, and I want to bring my fiance over, do I count it as 3 or 2? Okay, your family size, Aquarius, is going to be you, your son, and your beneficiary. Okay, that's your family size. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. So when you fill out the I-134 and when you fill out for the affidavit of support in the future, you're going to have a family size of 3. You got it? It's going to be Aquarius. It's going to be Aquarius' son, and it's going to be your beneficiary. Got it? Very easy. Aquarius, you learned something new today, right? Boom. Play. And you're trying to figure out the income requirement for a family of 3. And the income requirement right now is the minimum for a green card is $31,075. But you got to make at least $35,000 a year to protect yourself from an RFE without getting a joint sponsor. Okay? But for the embassy interview, I think it's $24,600. $25,000 right in there for a family of 3 for the embassy interview. But then when you go to the United States, get married and you file for the green card, you got to make at least $31,075. But that's going to change in March of 2024. In March of 2024, the federal government recalculates the poverty guidelines for the year, and that number is going to go up because the United States, the U.S. government keeps spending and printing money we don't have, which is causing inflation, and inflation is driving up the cost of living. Okay, it's the Republicans and the Democrats, they keep sticking their noses in our trough and keep spending our tax money on stupid stuff, so they're driving inflation up, which means in March of 2024, it's going to cost more money to bring a beneficiary to the United States. It's going to go up. It's what it is, what it is, and the government's responsible for it. So I hope that answered your question, Aquarius. Play. I'm doing K1 visa. My daughter doesn't live with me, is going to be with me. My fiance, what is the minimum I have to make? Play. I'm doing a K1 visa. So that's you, benefit sponsor. Daughter, number 2. Beneficiary is the fiance, number 3. So you need to make $31,075 for the green card. My recommendation is you got to make a minimum of $35,000 so you don't get an RFE. Got it? Let's see here. The mosquito guy. We love you, man. We want you to get your K1 visa for your beautiful Filipino bride. You just got to listen to me. Diego, with all due spread, brother, the USCIS website for the Philippines K1 visa interview does not list divorce documents as a requirement. Can you please check this offline and let your viewers know that it is the situation? Every country has a different requirement. In the Philippines, apparently does not require divorce documentation. Okay, mosquito guy, you go right ahead and send your beautiful Filipino bride to the embassy interview in the Philippines without your divorce decree. Just do it. Just follow. Just do that. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I don't care what the embassy website says. I don't care what the MVC says. I don't care what USCIS processing times are because it's all wrong. If you go to some embassy websites, they say the embassy's closed because of COVID, but embassies aren't closed. Embassies are open. They just haven't updated their information. Mosquito guy, if you don't want to give your beneficiary your certified copy of your divorce decree, don't give it to her. Send her to the visa interview without it. It's your decision. You know, knock yourself out. Every country has a different requirement. In the Philippines, apparently does not require divorce documentation. Okay, so the immigration officer is going to say, okay, Miss Filipina, you've never been divorced. In Philippines, you can't get a divorce. You got to get an annulment. So if your Filipino bride has had an annulment and doesn't bring the annulment certificate to the visa interview, she won't get her K1 visa. If you have been divorced, Mr. Mosquito Guy, and you don't give your beneficiary your certified divorce decree, you're not going to get the K1 visa. But you'll get it, but you're going to go into a 221G administrative hold till you get it to her. So let's test it. Let's test this. Let's see what happens. Don't give her the divorce decree. Okay, don't do it. You do what you follow the embassy website. You follow those rules, which are all wrong, by the way. It's all out of date, and see what happens. And then let us know how it goes. And if you get your K1 visa without your divorce decree, we're glad. We'll be glad for you. But you ain't gonna get it. Harold A, what's going on, Harold? Nice way, Diego. Did you get approved? Yeah, nice way. Karina has got her K1 visa approved, and we just got to get a police certificate from Interpol because Karina lived in Colombia for 5 years. She's got to have an Interpol police certificate. We gave her a Venezuelan police certificate. Yeah, they liked that one. We gave them the Colombian police certificate. They didn't like that. They said, you're not Colombian, you're Venezuelan, so you can't fill out a Colombian police certificate. Well, she put in her passport number, and it came back as no problems for a foreigner living in Colombia. It was all written in black and white. And the immigration officer said, nah, we want an Interpol police certificate. So we said, okay, how do you do that? And he said, go to this address here, do this website, upload your passport and Venezuelan passport and cedula, and you'll get the Interpol police certificate. So then we did that. Well, Karina did. I didn't. Karina called Interpol and said, hey, I need an Interpol police certificate. They said, get in line with everybody else. So she said, I am not waiting any longer. I've been waiting almost 2 years for this darn visa. I need a police certificate from Interpol. He said, get in line with everybody else. She said, okay. So we're getting in line with everybody else. That's better. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Kristen, he is in Jaipur, India. They filed a K1. They filed the K1. So you spent $535 creating an email account phone just for her. Is a red flag. That's not good. He hits her, and we don't like that. I guess India is normal, but not here in the United States. Kristen, you tell your sister to withdraw that application for that violent, abusive person. Withdraw that visa application in writing. So you write a letter to USCIS. What service center is this at? You write to USCIS and the address, whatever the service center is. Your sister's going to write, my name is, I want to withdraw my petition for this beneficiary, his full name, his passport number, his date of birth. Include a copy of the NOA1 letter, because you don't have an NOA2 letter yet. Put a copy of the NOA1 letter with that letter, okay, and sign it and date it, make a copy, and mail it to USCIS Service Center. The United States of America has got no place for violent individuals that want to hit women, okay? The United States has got no place for foreigners coming to this country with the benefit of a K-1 visa, and he wants to punch his future wife. You got to block it. You got to tell your sister he's not welcome in the USA. Withdraw the petition and tell him to go pack sand. Okay? I will write the letter for you if you want. It would be a great pleasure for me to write a letter to immigration on behalf of your sister, although it's got to come from your sister because she's the sponsor. I don't have authority to look at her record, but she's got to get rid of this guy. She's got to think with her head and not with her heart. Okay? You got it. Kristen, you got to talk to your sister. You got to block this guy. Any man that hits a woman belongs in jail. Okay? My opinion. Nice way. Make sure it's translated to English. Depends. It depends on the country. In Bogotá, Colombia, Santo Domingo, in the Dominican Republic, you don't have to translate documents from Spanish into English anymore. Denise Jefferson, our #1 channel supporter. Diego, do you happen to know why it jumps from 100% to 125% at adjustment of status? Yes, I do. I'll explain it to you. The amount it takes to support your beneficiary does not necessarily change. I am trying to understand the reasoning behind it. Okay, Denise, I will explain this to you so you understand it. The K-1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, but it's processed as an immigrant visa. So the first thing on the K-1 visa is a non-immigrant visa. A non-immigrant visa is the same as a tourist visa, B2. So if you want to come to the United States of America as a tourist on a B2 visa, okay, you got to show a minimum of income of 100% of the income requirements for the visa. But now, that also applies to the K-1 because the K-1 is a non-immigrant visa. So you fill out the I-134. The I-134 is for a K-1 and for a B2, for a tourist visa and for a K-1 visa. It's 100%. Congressional law says you got to be at 100% of the minimum income to qualify for the non-immigrant visa, which is the K-1 or the B2. So if you want to come to America as a tourist, you got to make so much money in your home country. So you got to have so much money in the bank. The minimum in the bank, I believe, is 10 grand, and you get your B2 or your K-1 visa. Now, when the plane leaves the country of origin, that K-1 visa converts into an immigrant visa. It goes from non-immigrant to immigrant. When you land in America, you process for a permanent residency, which is an immigrant visa. The congressional law says you got to have 125% minimum income for a immigrant permanent residency visa, or it's going to be now a green card. So at the embassy, it's 100% because it's not considered an immigrant visa. It's considered a non-immigrant visa, but it gets processed as an immigrant visa. So when you do the GS-160, when you do the the paperwork, when you process the visa interview, you got to click on immigrant to process it, but it's not. It's technically a non-immigrant. The non-immigrant visa is tourist and K-1 at the embassy, 100%. You get to America, it instantly converts to an immigrant visa, or now it converts into a permanent residency, green card, and the number goes up to 125%. So if you want to come to America as a tourist, you got to make a minimum income of this. But if you want to live in America as a permanent resident, your income's got to be this. I hope that cleared it up for you, Denise, because I know it's a little confusing. It's confusing, but that's the way Congress wrote the law. That's how it was written. Tourists and K-1s are non-immigrant. You got to be at 100%. Okay. Legal resident, permanent resident, converts to immigrant visa, you got to be at 125%. So if you qualify at the embassy at 100%, if let's suppose you're just over the top and you get your K1, when you get to the United States, the embassy officer knows that you don't make enough money for the green card. But the immigration officer is giving you the opportunity to come to America and find a joint sponsor. You got it? So you get to America, you don't quite make enough, you're not at 125%, but you made it to America, you get married, you find a joint sponsor, and you get your green card. That's how it works. So I hope that unconfused you. And the reasoning behind it is K1 and B2 are non-immigrant visas. The B2 doesn't convert to an immigrant visa. It stays as a non-immigrant visa. You got to come back as a tourist. But the K1 changes from non-immigrant to immigrant visa, so the income goes up at the green card processing. I hope that helps you understand that. I know it's confusing, but that's the easiest way to explain it. Kristen, our family feels he is scamming her. If anybody, if I had a sister and somebody hit her, okay, and he was in a foreign country, I'd be on a plane going to that country, figuring out what the hell was going on, what the heck's going on. Okay, he would have a very bad day. He's scamming her. We want to report him, but not sure how. Okay, Kristen, here's how you do it. You don't report him. You withdraw the visa. Just withdraw the visa. Your sister is in absolutely 100% control of this K1 visa process. Everything. Okay? She writes a letter to USCIS Service Center. Dear Immigration, I am withdrawing my petition for my beneficiary. Full name, passport number, receipt number from NOA1 letter. Attach a copy of the NOA1 letter. Sign it and date it. You don't report him, you withdraw the visa. If you want to report him, you got to have evidence and proof of fraud. You don't have any evidence of proof. You don't have any evidence of fraud. All you have is the word of your sister that he punched her twice. That's enough for me. But you got to prove it to immigration. You can't prove it. So you got no fraud to prove. But you can withdraw your beneficiary. Your sister can withdraw the benefit. She paid for it. She's in control of it. She can withdraw it and say, I don't want him. I don't want to be married to him. I don't want him to come here. She doesn't have to explain anything. She doesn't have to say why. She doesn't have to say he punched me. Because if you say that, you got to prove it. You just got to withdraw the petition. Immigration will say, not a problem. And his visa petition will be stopped. It's done. And she needs to get rid of that guy. She needs to think with her head and not with her heart. You got to be a victor, not a victim. She's going to be a victim. She's already a victim. You got to make her a victor. Write a letter. I'm withdrawing my petition. This is why, I'm just don't want him to come here. I don't want to get married to him anymore. That's it. Sign, date it. Yeah, of course he's scamming. He is scamming her. Of course he is. Do you understand how to stop this K1 visa from continuing? I just explained it to you. Let me see. He cheats on her. Why is she with this guy? He chats with many women. Why is she with this guy? No lía, el hombre no lía para señor en beneficio. ¿Tu opinión?
No funciona así.
Terminate todo.
Claro.
Karina should get rid of this guy. He chats with many women. El señor habla mucho mujeres.
No.
And el problema aquí, we are scared for the future with this person. Okay, you gotta terminate the visa. Do you understand how to do it? I don't want to ruin my relationship with my sister. Yeah, it's better to ruin your relationship with your sister than have her go through a absolute victim experience. She's too afraid to leave him because he has too much information on her. He's in India. Who cares what information he's got on her? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Get rid of that guy. You need to have a very strong heart-to-heart, stoic talk with your sister. Type up the letter for her. Did you do it? You type up the letter for her to USIS Service Center, wherever, California, Texas. I don't know where it went. Write the letter for her. Put her name in the bottom and have her sign it. Get the NOA1 letter, attach it to the letter, send it to the Service Center, and it's done. It's over. Who cares how much information this loser, this guy has on her? It's not important. What's important is he doesn't come to the United States and get married to your sister. And you have to block it. Fazak, everyone hit the like button for Diego. Guys, I never ask you to hit the like button, all right? You don't have to. I never ask you to do that. When you watch a channel, when you watch a YouTube channel, and it starts and the video starts, what's the first thing they say? Like and subscribe. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. I don't say that. I don't include it in my videos. Now, I helped my brother set up a YouTube channel, movie reviews. And the first thing he started putting in his videos was like and subscribe. I said, Greg, get rid of that garbage. If your videos are good, people will subscribe. If your videos suck, they won't. Content, right? Good information. People like it. It's their decision. Okay, let's see. Mackenzie Owens, what should one wear to the interview? Business attire. Karina went to her K1 visa interview dressed like a businesswoman, which she is. She's a tax accountant, so she wore her business attire. No jeans, no t-shirt, you're a business. You're going for a job interview. You're going for a job interview as a computer programmer at Area 51, okay, where they back engineer UFO technology. I'm just kidding. They don't back engineer UFO technology at Area 51. They do that at S4. But you're going for a job interview, right? Business casual. Marvell Campbell, hey Diego, update. Jamaica reached out and scheduled our interview. Very good. High five to Marvell. Everybody give Marvell a high five. Miguel is talking to Marvell. Jason Mabry, hey lovebirds. Woo, yeah, we lovebirds. Woo, Karina. Wow, man, I got a Bezos. Hey, lovebirds. What is the normal wait time from NBC in transit to hear from the embassy? Depends on the embassy. What country? Which embassy? What country? Every embassy's got their own work schedule. Bogotá's busy. The embassy in Bogotá right now, the U.S. Embassy in Bogotá, Colombia right now, they have no appointments available. January's filled up. And you got to wait for January to go by before you get to February. So it could take 4, 5, 6 weeks to get an interview in Bogotá, Colombia. Mumbai could take 8 weeks, 3 months. Lagos, Nigeria is about 2 months. Depends on the embassy. Okay, Karina, help me out here. You do it for me. I don't know what I'm doing. If I touch it, I'd lose where I'm at. Okay. Okay, here we go. See, Karina, she doesn't speak English, but she knows what my last question was. Let's see. Come on now. We got Denise. We answered Denise. Hopefully Denise understood my response to her question between 100 and 125%. Aquarius, thank you. Miguel, they have like 3 emails, Diego. Should I send to all 3 of the embassies? Yeah, send all 3. And then print it. Francois Livingston, this channel has been a blessing full of great guidance. When I put the K1 visa application, I included 3 letters from France. Good job. Who know about our relationship and my fiance, and I had one done by a friend. Francois, that's great. I included much more in the application than the first time around. You listen to me, right? The more stuff you put in your K1 visa package, when you mail it to Louisville, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas, then it goes to the service center. 97% of all K1 visas are going to California. If you stack it and load it with as much stuff and as much evidence as you can possibly give, you're going to have a 5-minute interview at the embassy in the country. If you put together a pitiful little, FLOHO, I call it, a FLOHO visa package, a lazy visa package, if you just put the minimum together, that qualifies you, okay, you'll get your K1 visa approved, but you're going to have a 30-minute interview at the embassy or maybe longer. And then you may end up getting a visa interview in the United States when you apply for the green card. The stronger the visa package, the less hassle at the embassy. Let's see. Aquarius is talking to Francois. Aquarius, I'm very thankful for the channel. It's your channel, guys. Karina said, hey, put a channel together. I did it. Play. Now I understand for a family of 3 in the embassy is $24,860. Yeah, I said it was about $24,800, somewhere in there. And for the green card, it's $31,075. That's what I said. You got it. Now, do I have to explain in the I-134 that an affidavit of support, AA-64, for someone living in the U.S.? No. When you fill out the I-134, you got to qualify at $24,860. But my recommendation is, if you're at $24,860, get a joint sponsor for the I-134. The immigration officer may or may not say you don't make enough, even though you're right. If you're right on the line, immigration, the embassy controls it. If the minimum income for a family of 3 for the K1 at the embassy at 100% is $24,860. So make sure you make at least $26,000 a year, $28,000 a year, somewhere in there to qualify, or get a joint sponsor. When you get to the United States, you got to make $31,075 a year for a family of 3, which I just said in the live stream back about 20 minutes ago. Make sure you make $36,000 a year. If you don't, get a joint sponsor. And you don't explain anything on the I-134 other than what's asked of you. Don't add anything. Play was denied. What was denied? Play. Susie Goldemez. Hello, Diego and Karina.
Hola.
Susie, hola. ¿Cómo estás? What's going on? Johnson M. The local workers for the consular officers that are nitpicking our documents are requesting additional documents. Yeah. Same for Karina. They nitpicked her documents apart, but they couldn't find anything wrong other than the fact that they didn't like her police certificate from Colombia. The police certificate was perfect. Foreign national living in Colombia, police certificate, international, investigated by the police department of Colombia, no problems. Immigration, no, we want an Interpol certificate. And Karina's like, what the heck is that? And they explained it, and now it's in process, and we get an extra month to hang out in Bogotá. So it's a win-win. We got all these restaurants we haven't tried yet, right? Muchos restaurantes aquí no comen necesaria experiencia. Sí, so we're good. Johnson, hang in there, man. Kansas Zane. Kansas Zane. Submitting a follow-up action request for an applicant who has not completed a visa application by interview and received consular instructions is considered an attempt to commit fraud. Submitting a follow-up action request for an applicant who has not completed a visa application is an attempt to commit fraud. Well, why would you submit a follow-up action on somebody who hasn't filed a visa? They won't have any information. There's going to be zero information. Susie Goldemez, does my fiance have to take I-134 form to the K1 interview? Yes, Susie. The original I-134 that you filled out on your computer, you print it. Some parts the computer won't let you fill in, so you hand print it in black ink. Like it wouldn't let me put in my boss, where I worked, my employer. So I did everything. I printed it and I wrote in black ink, my boss is this. This is his address. This is my job. I'm a real estate agent. I sell houses. You sign it and date it, your full name, first name, middle name, last name. If you don't put your middle name in there, it's not considered a full signature, and the document will be considered irrelevant. Full name, first name, middle name, last name. Sign it, date it, black ink. Get that original form to your beneficiary for the visa interview. You got it, Susie? I just saved you a big headache. Johnson M., good luck to all. Kansas Zane will have a serious negative impact on the applicant's visa application record. Denise Jefferson, makes perfect sense. Thanks, Diego. Yeah, Denise. The K1 and the B2 visa are basically the same thing, except the B2 is a return trip visa. The K1 is a one-way trip, and they're both non-immigrant visas, okay? So you got to be at 100%. As soon as you get to America, it changes from a non-immigrant to an immigrant visa, and you have to apply for a green card, and it goes up to 125%. Congress wrote the rule, and in my opinion, then they'd have to change it to an I-864. But just the way it is right now is the way it is. Kansas Zane, Mr. Diego, do you have any children? Do I have any children? With Karina, not yet, but soon. But we got to get married first. Dina Alley, what's the biometrics? Dina Alley, the biometrics is the fingerprints and the photograph of the face. A biometric photo of your face. So do you know what a biometric photo of your face does for the U.S. government? You can be walking down the street in New York City, and a biometric camera up on a light pole takes a picture of you. That biometrics will convert your face into a biometric encrypted data, which goes to whoever, and they know exactly who it was walking down the street in New York City. When you get to the airport in the United States of America, you're going to have your picture taken at the airport. You just slide your passport in to a machine. They take your picture, and that biometric picture your face, which has been biometrically taken by the embassy in the country where it is you live, will match up with your face, and that totally blocks any means of fraud. So biometrics, basically what it does is it takes pictures of your bone, where your bones are, your nose size, your eyes, everything. They take your picture at the airport, Miami International. Karina gets to Miami. She's a big, beautiful face. Hello. They take a picture. The biometrics will match up with her picture, and they let her in the country. Denise is talking to Susie Goldemer. Susie, did your fiance get an interview scheduled yet? Dean is talking to Kristen. Let's see. Dina is good information for Kristen. Kristen, you got to write a letter to USCIS for your sister. Write a letter of withdrawal of this K1 visa. Your sister probably doesn't have the heart to write it because she loves this guy who's a loser. She doesn't have the heart to write it. You must write it and put her name and full name at the bottom and the date, and then have her read it and have her say, look, you got to sign this. I'm going to help you. Have her sign it, get a copy of the NOA1 letter, and block that nasty individual from coming to my country. My United States of America is my country. I don't want people like that coming in my country. So you got to help her, please. Susie's talking to Denise. Mackenzie Owens, do you think I need to list my car or anything like that for other assets for the I-134? Now, Mackenzie, if you put your car, you got to have two cars in order to list them as an asset. You cannot list, if you only have one car in the family, you can't use it as an asset. If you have two cars, you can use the most expensive car and go on Kelley Blue Book, get a Kelley Blue Book evaluation of your car, if the second car, and then when you write down the value of your car, you're going to put the Kelley Blue Book value of your car, not the retail value. So you can use your car as an asset. If you own two cars, you can use the most expensive car, and make sure you get a Kelley Blue Book or a black book or some kind, or go to a car dealer and have them do an appraisal on your car, because immigration will not, the embassy won't accept your word that this is how much your car is worth. You got to get it appraised. Okay? If you want to include your house, go to Zillow.com, look up your address on Zillow.com and print the value of your house. Immigration don't take your word for it. You got to have evidence. K Messenger, hello, Karina and Diego. You guys look super happy. Greetings from Mexico. And I'm glad you didn't put the name of that city in Mexico, because I can't pronounce it. I got two false front teeth right now. I have a hard time eating Karina's fantastic dinners. But on Monday, I get a panoramic X-ray done. I go back to my dentist, and then he's going to send me somewhere else, and hopefully they give me 2 new front teeth. And then I won't be speaking funny, and I can enjoy Karina's beautiful meals without worrying about my teeth falling out. Anil Kumar, Vade. Hi, I'm still trying to find the best way to get my true love. Anil, I understand. Visa got denied. Yeah, you got denied. What was the reason? Why U.S. Embassy made everything difficult? Anil, you got to, number one, you got to find out the reason. Why did the embassy deny the visa? It wasn't blocked at the embassy. The embassy has no control over. They have no authority to deny visas or approve visas. Only USCIS and the embassy can do that. So it went to the embassy denied it. Why? It wasn't your age. It's not your orientation. Immigration don't discriminate against your age or orientation. They don't discriminate. There's something else in there, okay, that you need to find out what it is. Now, what you can do if your K-1 visa was denied, you can pay an attorney $6,000 and have him try to reopen the case, but good luck with that. It ain't going to happen. The attorney's going to say, I can help you maybe, or he may give you good advice and say, don't waste your time. The way to fix this is go to wherever it is, which country was it? India? Go get married, have a big wedding, come back to America, and file for a spousal visa. That's the way to fix it. Your K-1 got denied, but first you got to find out why. Why was it? Was it income? Was his income too low? Is there a criminal record that you don't know about? Immigration just don't arbitrarily deny K-1 visas. Age, they don't. There's no big deal, unless the beneficiary is 18 and the sponsor's like 85 years old. Then there's a big problem. That is not going to happen. But if that's just a 30-year age gap is not going to deny a K-1 visa. It's not going to do it. There's no big deal. There's something else, Anil, you got to look at. You got to get calm. You got to relax. You got to stop panicking. Stop being, mad at immigration. They're doing their job. Immigration's doing their job. They're just doing their job. You got to find out why. If it's a criminal history that your sponsor didn't tell you about, there's nothing you can do about it. So if there's no criminal history, if there's no income problems, if there's no other problems, you got to find out why it was denied. And then tell me. If you tell me the reason why it was denied, I can tell you whether to continue with this or not. But if everything's good and there's no problems, get married. File a spousal. So the embassy is not making things difficult, Anil. The embassy is doing their job. There's a problem somewhere with your sponsor. Find out what it is. It's not the age. It's not the orientation. There are laws in place that will not allow age discrimination or orientation discrimination. Fazak, the like button gets the algorithm. What? The algorithm to put your content out to more viewers. Yeah, the more people see the videos, they learn more, right? Maybe we can save, somebody $4,000 or $5,000 from an immigration attorney fee. And looking for immigration help like everybody here. Yeah, Fazak, if people like this or they don't like it. If you like it, then like it. You don't have to. But the more people that see the channel who are going through this process, the more people we can help. And we can save them money. I get sad. I see somebody spent $5,000 on an immigration attorney, and all the immigration attorney did was fill out an I-129F, collect your evidence, and submit it to the logbox in freaking Louisville. Anybody can do that. Jeez. Let's see. The only time you need an immigration attorney, now I'm not bashing immigration attorneys. If you're lazy, if you are a flojo, and you don't feel like doing the paperwork, hire an immigration attorney to do it. They do a good job. Hopefully, you get a good immigration attorney that doesn't forget about you right after you pay him or her. I'm not an immigration attorney, guys. I don't give you legal advice, okay? I've been through this thing twice. 8 years of this freaking nightmare. And Karina, right here, she's got her visa approved. We're just waiting on Interpol. And that'd be next week.
Tampoco.
Let me see. Marvell Campbell is talking to Miguel. No, I didn't. Their site kept saying no available appointments. K Messenger. We did receive our case ready. How would we proceed? email the consulate in Ciudad Juarez and ask them for directions. Packet 3, packet 4. You got to get that packet 3, packet 4 email with the directions on how to proceed. Okay? Email the embassy. We have not got a welcome letter. That's the K1 FTP email. Look for an email that says K1 FTP. That's the welcome letter. We have received our embassy, however, no invoice. So you got an email from the MVC. Does it say K1 FTP on it? That's your welcome letter. Karina, great idea for the channel. You are helping. ¿Tú entiendes? Karina understood. She's getting her English under control. She's learning. She's doing good. Karina is muy inteligente, okay? And she's going to learn English. In 1 year, she'll be speaking English. She'll be going to Walmart, looking for stuff in the store, Publix, wherever she goes. Probably Walmart. Publix is like expensive, guys. Shopping in Publix is like you got to take out a second mortgage to buy a freaking gallon of milk. Did Jenny Basso? Hello, while waiting for an available appointment at Senegal, is there any document we should send to the consulate? Nothing. You don't send anything to the consulate in Senegal. Your beneficiary hand carries every document to the visa interview. You don't send them anything. Nothing. April, hi Diego. If I change my job before filing the I-134, will that be fine? Certainly, April Flower. You can change your job. You can file a K1 visa, and you put down, this is my job. You can change your job before you get the NOA2 letter, but when you fill out the I-134, you put the name of the new person you work for. I work here. This is his address, her address. This is how much money I make in a year, which is going to be how much you're going to give your beneficiary for income on the I-134. You got it, April. Susie Goldman, got it? Okay, play. The I-864 affidavit of support was denied on a person I tried to support before. Should I explain it in the I-134? No. I've made above 27,000 this year. Okay. Play. You applied for somebody as a sponsor to come to the United States. You didn't make enough money as a joint sponsor. You didn't make enough money. It got denied. You didn't make enough money. Now, that was when? How many years ago? Now, ahora, este día, now you make more than enough money to qualify. The only time you will include a person on an I-864 affidavit or on the I-134 is if they came to the United States and they got a green card and they live and work in the United States. They're not U.S. citizens and you are responsible for them. If you applied for somebody to come to the United States as a joint sponsor and you didn't make enough money and they were denied, then they're not in the United States. They are not your dependent. So you don't include them on your I-134 or your I-864. They're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. They're not here. They're not in America. They don't have green cards. They're not your dependent. So immigration couldn't care less. Immigration only cares about who are you responsible for financially. Okay? Those are green card holders. Your beneficiary on the K1. You got it? They didn't come to America. They didn't get a green card. They're not your dependent. You don't put them on the I-864. You don't put them on the I-134. Because immigration only cares about how much money did you make in 2022. Do you qualify for your beneficiary financially in 2022? If you do, you're good. If you don't, get a joint sponsor. Who's that? Greg? My brother just sent me a text. My brother, Greg. You got it? You got to trust me. You got to trust me. I'm not giving you bad advice. I'm giving you real-time correct advice that an immigration attorney would charge you $100 an hour for. Okay? Listen to me. Trust me. Remember, I brought somebody to the United States on a K-1 visa in 2016, right? I got her a green card, right? She didn't like America. She didn't like the food. She didn't like the TV. She didn't like the weather. She didn't want to learn to drive. She didn't like nothing about the United States of America. I took her home and divorced her. Did I put her on my I-134? I put an explanation in there that they asked me a question. Have I ever applied for an I-134 for somebody in the past? I said yes. This person right here is somebody I applied for in the past. She got a green card. She abandoned it. She lives at this address. She's not my dependent. You can say that, but you didn't even qualify for the person. I qualified. I brought her to America, got her a green card, shipped her home. So I wrote a little explanation in there that I have applied for an I-134 in the past. I qualified financially, and she's no longer in the United States of America. And we are divorced, and she lives in Colombia. Okay? But I wrote a little letter of explanation. This is what happened. But you don't have to. You didn't bring anybody to the United States. You didn't get them a green card. I did. I had to explain it. You didn't. You don't have to explain it. Just leave it off. Let me see. JS, hi Diego, my fiance had her interview last Monday and was approved. That's the news I want to hear, but has not received an email as to when how to pick up the passport. Is it normal? Well, what country? I can't remember. What embassy? So Monday she got the approval. So it takes about 7 days. In Colombia, it takes about a week to get the passport back. So it would probably take a week. But what country, JS? I'm sorry. I try to remember all you guys' countries, but I don't have that brain power to do it. And I try my best, guys. Let's see. Down here, Karina's in control here. JS, check the SEAC account, says issued. Now you got to wait for the email to say go pick up the passport. But what country? Where are you at? Jose Azabata. Hi, Diego and Karina. Hi, Jose. Hola, Jose. Angel Tate. Hi, Diego and Karina. Got ready status and filled out the DS-160. Why'd you do that? Did the embassy tell you to do that? I'm currently trying to get 2 years tax transcripts. It's easy. Takes a week. In W-2. I'm waiting for my interview date. We booked the medical. Well, that's great. But you filled out the DS-160, but you didn't send it to the embassy, right? You didn't submit it, so it's only good for 30 days. So when 30 days passes, you're going to have to redo the DS-160. But good job on booking the medical exam. Great. Mackenzie, perfect. I will only list my salary then. That's right. Should I bother listing my small retirement account? Include it. The more money you make, the better. Include it. Let me see here. Kinza saying, Mr. Diego, my police certificate saying, my fiance's police certificate saying he is sentenced, I believe, for not joining the army. Okay, this sounds like Turkey. In his country, it's either Turkey or Syria. Kinza Zain, it's either Turkey or Syria, right? I believe for not joining the army in his country, they won't state the reason why, neither to his family. Okay, so the police certificate says he was sentenced for not joining the army. If it was Syria, if it was Iraq, if it was Turkey, it's not going to be a block on his K-1 visa. But you got to write a letter of explanation saying, which country? I need to know which country first. If it was England, it could be a problem. Kinza saying if he goes back there, he will be arrested and jailed. If he goes back, where? What should I do? Where? What country? Angel Tate, it's only allowing me to print tax transcript. Can I get them to mail me the transcript in W-2? Yeah, Angel Tate. Call this number, Angel Tate. I'm going to look up a phone number for you right here in my phone. Okay, it's a phone number. It's the Noticias. This is the British News. I'm going to look up the phone number for you. Okay, watch. And you call this number tonight. When you can call them right now because they're open 24 hours. You call this number 1-800-829-1040. Call that number 1-800-829-1040. And I did pretty good reading that without my glasses. In Spanish, it's 800-829-1040. Call that number, follow the prompts for the tax transcripts, and they'll ask you for your social security number. You punch it in. It's going to ask you what year do you need? 2022. And then it's going to say, what's your address? What's the first number? What's the numbers of your address where you live? So if you live at 27, whatever, you put 27. You hit submit, and in a week, you'll have your tax transcript for 2022. But they're also going to ask you this question. Do you want to get any more years? You say, yeah, I want to get 2021. So you put in 2021 and repeat the process. Do you want me to repeat that phone number for you? Mackenzie, perfect. Okay. You're good, Mackenzie. Kansas saying, I need to know what country we're talking about on this police certificate. What should I do? What should you do? Tell me the country. Let's see here. Mackenzie Owens is talking to Angel Tate. Angel Tate talking to Mackenzie. And Neil, yes, I live in India, but my fiancé afraid and lose the hope. Gay marriage isn't legal in India. How can I get my true love? Okay, what countries allow gay marriage? If it's not allowed in India, what country is it allowed in that's close to you? What countries close to you permit it? Obviously not Pakistan, right? You can't go there. First thing you got to do, listen to me, Anil. And you said you don't know the reason. You asked a lawyer, but they're not telling us. They got to tell you the reason. They don't just deny a K-1 visa without giving you a reason. They got to tell you, Anil, forget about the K-1 visa. Okay, forget about it. It's denied. Forget about it. Don't be a victim. Be a victor. How do you become a victor? Now you got to find a country that will allow gay marriage. Find a country close to India. Meet up, spend a month together, get married, keep all the evidence. Your sponsor comes back to the USA and gets all the evidence of of your relationship, and then files a spousal visa. And then you wait for that. And then you're back in the game. Then you're back in play, right? But that's the way you got to do it. Number one, find a country that allows for gay marriage. I don't know. The Philippines, I don't think they do. Find a country. That's your homework. I can't do it for you. I can tell you how to do it, but I can't do it for you. You have to do it. Find a country. England allows it. Americans can fly to England. They got to get a stupid visa now for like whatever, $100. It's ridiculous. But you could get married in England. In India, people from India can fly to England as a tourist, right? Your sponsor flies from the United States to England. You fly from India to England. You get married. You have a big wedding. You get all your documents and get all your evidence of your relationship, and you resubmit the visa for a spousal. You got it? Don't be a victim. Be a victor. Aquarius, bacon is $8 at Publix. $8. That's a lot of money. Whew, it's $8 for a gallon of milk at Publix. It's like $3.95 in Walmart. I think. I know it's $3.95 a gallon of milk in Walmart and like $5 in Publix, somewhere like that. JS, you're in Bogotá, Colombia. Gotcha. It takes about a week to get your passport back in Bogotá. 7 days. Angel Tate, what is packet 3, packet 4? That is an email from the U.S. Embassy telling you to start processing your K-1 visa. It's giving you the list of things you got to bring to the visa interview, and it's giving you links to go to pay the visa fee and schedule the interview. JD, hi Diego and Karina, how are you? We're good. We're good. That's Peanut. Jeff Dunham. You like Jeff Durham? I don't know if you're ever watching. Uh, Adjustment of status receipt online showing today biometrics appointment was scheduled. So this appointment date, time, location fixed by USAS. Yeah. USAS. Any ideas? Is it within a month or two? Depends on where you live. But when you file for the green card, when you get to America, your non-immigrant visa turns into an immigrant visa, which then turns into a permanent residency card. You have to file for the green card. You pay the visa fee, the green card fee, and USCIS will then send you a letter or an email, both maybe, telling you have to go to biometrics. For Karina, it's going to probably be in New Orleans, Louisiana, or in Montgomery, Alabama. It's going to be one of those two places. But when I filed for the green card for Karina, in about maybe about 4 or 6 weeks passes by, they'll send her an email plus a letter saying you have your biometrics at the USCIS office. I believe it's going to be in New Orleans, which is like they got a secret location. It's not marked or anything. You got to find it. So you got to spend the night we get to spend the night in New Orleans, hang out in New Orleans, take a ride on the riverboat, go eat some Creole, some shrimp Creole, whatever, and have a good time in New Orleans. Go to the biometrics, and then boom. Hitchum Adjure, Diego. Does unemployment 6 months and working 6 months, would that work for I-134? Sure. Unemployment money is counted as income because it's taxable. Now, if you're on SSI or if people are getting handouts from the taxpayers, you're disqualified from a K-1 visa. But, it's unfortunate somebody gets in that position. That's not good, but it happens. But you don't qualify for a visa if you're on SSI or, government welfare. But unemployment doesn't disqualify you from a K-1 visa, and the income counts. Unemployment is taxable. When you file your taxes, you have to claim the unemployment money you got for 6 months. You have to claim it, and you get taxed on it. So immigration accepts it as income, as long as it's not permanent. You're not on a vacation, You're unemployed for 6 months, no problem. But you found a job and you've been employed for 6 months, no problem. You add up those two incomes together, and if it's sufficient, then you're good. Don't worry about it. It counts. And you didn't know that, right? Unless you were on this channel. So you learned something new today. Mackenzie, 30 days. Yeah, the DS-160 is good for 30 days once you saved it on your computer. Wait, we did the DS-160 last month and then signed up for an interview. So did you submit the DS-160 to the embassy? If you submitted the DS-160 to the embassy and you printed the confirmation page, you are good. You're good. Perfecto. Mi amor, por favor. I'll keep going for a little bit longer, guys, but I want to eat dinner. Karina's, she wants to make me dinner. Play. Her lawyer told her that my affidavit was not used, so that in that case, I thought probably I don't have to mention it. Well, your lawyer said it. I already told you don't have to mention it. Now your lawyer's telling you don't have to mention it. I already said you don't have to mention it. Guess what? You don't have to mention it. You got to trust me, man. JS, 7 days or 7 business days. 7 business days to get the passport. It's about 7 business days, 7 to 10 business days. 7 a 10 días negocio.
Ayer festivo.
And don't forget, we're in this December. We're in holidays. The Colombians took off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. Then next week it's Christmas, so it's going to be the 24th, the 25th, the 26th. I don't know. So December is kind of bad to get a K-1 visa processed. Everything slows down in Bogotá. So so your lawyer said you don't have to include it. I already told you don't have to include it, so don't include it. Syria, Kinzazain, Syria. Okay, let me tell you about Syria. Okay, the people of Syria, we love you guys. But there are some people in Syria that are funded by another country that don't like Americans. They would love to kill us. And they start shooting at us. We got military troops in Syria. Why the United States government has got the U.S. military in Syria is beyond me. We do not need to be there. It's not our country. It's none of our business. Number one, We shouldn't have a military there. But there is a country that keeps supplying arms to Syrian people that don't like us. Primarily, they're not Syrians really. They're from another country, and they want to kill Americans. So you're telling me that your beneficiary got a police certificate that shows a criminal history that says a sentence for not joining the Syrian army. The U.S. government does not have a problem with that, and they will not deny you a K-1 visa because of that. But your beneficiary has to write a letter and include it with the police certificate, an affidavit, and sign and date it and say, I'm a Syrian. I now live, where does he live now, or she? Where does he live? I'm a Syrian that now lives here. I refuse to join the Syrian military because I did not want to take up arms against the United States. Therefore, I was prosecuted in absentia for not joining the Syrian army. Sign it and date it. Do you want me to repeat what I just said? I, Mr. Beneficiary, refused to join the Syrian army because I did not want to take up arms against the United States. I was prosecuted for this in absentia. I now live here. Sign it and date it. Put it together with the police certificate, and you are good to go. You got it? I knew it was Syria. I had a feeling it was either Syria, Iraq, or Turkey. I received the K1 ready status. Okay, went ahead and filled out the GS-160. Don't know how to wait for other instructions. It's okay. I need DS-160 confirmation in order to schedule the medical and interview. Gotcha. You're good, Angel. You did everything perfectly fine. You did everything good. Play. Gracias, amigo. De nada. Hard-headed here. I love you, brother. Thank you. You're good. Relaja, por favor. No estreso. Calma. Relaja. Okay. En la noche, mira película en YouTube. Preparando muy delicioso cena, comer, relaja. Pronto tu pasaporte en tu mano. Relaja. High five. I hope my Spanish wasn't too bad. Kinzazain, they won't give any information unless they go there. Do not go back to Syria. Kinzazain, don't go back to Syria. Don't go back there. Write the letter, like I just explained, that the Syrian army got mad because he wouldn't join the Syrian army because he didn't want to fight Americans. He didn't want to become part of that war. He didn't want any part of it. So he refused to join. Sign date it. American embassy will read it and say, you're good. and thank you for not joining the Syrian army, by the way. K Messenger, I'm sorry I missed the acronym you used. I'm now prepared to write the letter name. It was the welcome letter. K1 FTP is the welcome letter. K Messenger, K1 FTP. Look for that in your email box, and that's your welcome letter. John A, how long does it take to get your NOA2 letter in the mail? It's been 8 days since I got approved. It takes between 5 days to 14 days. So you're right in the middle. You're almost there. You'll probably get it Monday or Tuesday. Argly TV, hey Diego and Karina, how long? Long time no see. Angel TV, well, no, you're Argly TV, no problem. You're busy. We don't expect you to be on this channel every day. You got stuff to do. You got a life, right? Question, do I have to upload documents for the interview? No, you don't upload any documents for the K1 visa interview. Nothing, zero. Unless you get a 221G administrative letter where they ask for a document, then you have to upload it to the CA. But if you don't get any 221G, you don't have to upload any documents. So Augury TV. Mackenzie, what is the MRF receipt? That is the receipt when you paid for the visa. When I paid for Karina's visa, $265, I got an automatic email sent back to my Gmail account that said, this is the MRF receipt. That's the receipt for the visa that you paid for it. You got to bring the MRF receipt to the interview, okay, at the embassy so they can see you paid it. If you don't bring the MRF receipt, you can't prove you paid for the visa. K Messenger, K1 FTP, look for that email. Let me see. Angel T, MRV. Yeah, I know what you meant. Angel T, it's the receipt when you paid for the visa. You got to print that document. It's proof of payment. Play. Tu español es excelente, amigo. Oh, gracias, gracias. Mi cabeza es muy grande. Karina es mi profesor. Yo escucho a Karina palabras en día. Yo vivo en Colombia mucho tiempo. Yo aprendo español. So gracias. Let me see. Angel Tate talking to is Diego for. I love when Angel Tate asks me to clarify something. It's like second opinion, right? I love it. Once the K1 FTP email is received, it's okay to fill out the DS-160, book medical and interview. No, it's basically you got to wait for the packet 3, packet 4 email, which is the K1 FTP is the welcome letter. Welcome, congratulations, your visa's going to the embassy, blah, blah, blah. And then the embassy sends you an email that says, these are the directions that you must follow to process your visa. But every embassy is different. If you were able to do it with just the K1 FTP, you're good. Okay, you're good. Argily TV, got it, thank you, no problem. And Angel Tate, thank you for all your help. No problem. Guys, I love helping you guys. I've saved you thousands of dollars in attorney fees, right? Well, I hope I did. Hitchum is the return transcript account transcript. What? Wage and income transcript or record of account transcript for the taxes. It's the wage and income transcripts, what you want. You just call the number, right? The wage and income. Kinza Zane, yes, don't they need the explanation to why it's on his police certificate? Yes, yeah. Kinza Zane, write an explanation to the U.S. Embassy and say that if you're the beneficiary, I did not want to join the Syrian army. I did not want to take up arms against the United States. I do not support the political instability of Syria. So I got it put on my police certificate that I refused to join the Syrian army. And that's what I was convicted of, in absentia. Sign it and date it. And if you want to have somebody else write it a second opinion and say, this is my friend. He refused to join the Syrian army. He didn't want to take up arms against the United States of America. He didn't want to become a statistic. So he left Syria and have him sign it and date it. That will cover the police certificate. This ain't my first rodeo. I've helped probably 4 people from Syria and Iraq get over that police certificate. Let me see. Did Jenny Basau, is there anything we can do after waiting for the appointment to be available for a long time? We are in Senegal. You can kick back and relax and wait. K Messenger, Diego, I did receive the K1 FTP letter, but it does not have an invoice number. Thanks so much again. Now, don't worry about the invoice number. The DS-160, you need you got to have the case number, and you got to have the number that's on the DS-160 to process the visa interview. And that's it, guys. I've been talking an hour and 48 minutes. I'm gonna sign off. Karina is hungry. Her tummy's growling. My tummy's growling. I'm hungry. I want to eat. She's gonna make some great chicken and some mashed potatoes, pudding in español, pollo con pudding y ensalada. What is it? I got false teeth, Karina. I can't even pronounce half. I'm still like I'm doing a live stream. See you guys. What day is it today? Hoy día es sábado. See you guys on Monday. Monday at 7 p.m. Bogotá time.